Hey, what's up there, you fucking weirdos? How's it going? How y'all doing? Welcome back. So it's official, the time has finally come. We got a new Tarantino movie, and it's called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, as far as Quentin Tarantino, just in general, he's not my favorite filmmaker in the world, but he consistently puts out, at the very least, a pretty good movie. Technically, the only thing that he's done that I really just did not care for was probably Death Proof, but I don't even know if that technically counts as a movie. But every other film that he's made has some type of merit, entertainment value, or something to be learned from it, you know? But anyway, enough about that. On to the main topic. As far as the plot of this movie, I don't know if I can really narrow that down specifically. I would say that essentially this movie it's kind of a glorified behind the scenes look at what filmmaking was like in the 60s. But it centers around Leo DiCaprio, who plays an actor, and his stuntman played by Brad Pitt. And then there's a bunch of stuff involving the Manson murders or Charles Manson that's kind of adjacent to the overall story. So the plot is really weird because it does a lot of meandering, and I don't know. Again, I really can't narrow down what the exact plot of the movie is. But then again, it's Tarantino, so maybe it's just I'm not supposed to know what it means, or I'm just not smart enough to know what it means. I don't know. But what I can tell you is that there are really good characters with really great moments, and there's a lot of that throughout the movie. Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt do a great job. They have great chemistry, their dialogue is good, their character arcs are good, everything about them is good. And Margot Robbie did a good job as Sharon Tate, even though I question the amount of screen time that Sharon Tate needed in this movie, because it's more so about this kind of bromance between this actor and his stuntman. But at the same time, if you got Margot Robbie in the movie, you use her as much as possible, so I kind of get it. But none of that is really surprising because, Tarantino, as far as the acting performances, he does a really good job finding actors and getting them to get the performance that he needs, the exact performance. And a great example of that is there's a scene with Leonardo DiCaprio and a little girl, and the little girl is also an actor. And at first glance, I was a little worried that this little girl character might get really annoying really quick, but no. Totally the opposite. This little girl steals the fucking show. Almost. But even if she didn't steal the show, you know what? She goes toe-to-toe with DiCaprio, and I can't imagine that that's a very easy thing to do, especially for a child. The best I could do at that age was just bitch, moan, and complain until I got the bag of Skittles that I wanted. Meanwhile, this little girl is just, going toe-to-toe with an Academy Award-winning actor. No biggie. And I don't know if I would count this as a negative necessarily, but I feel like this movie was chock full of moments that were really not aimed towards people like myself. Because there was a gentleman, I don't know exactly how old he was, but he had to be at bare minimum in his 60s, and there was a lot of moments in the movie where he was just whoa, or he was whooping and getting all excited. But it was over very little things, like if you saw a billboard for something or a label on something or somebody make a reference to something. So the movie also felt like it was kind of an homage or just an ode to the 60s, which again, not a bad thing, but some of the references and some of the nostalgia of that was kind of lost on me, and it kind of kept me from enjoying the movie that much more. Whereas conversely, when it came to both the Kill Bill movies, I haven't seen every kung fu action movie from the 70s, but I was also really into that for some reason. So this movie had a lot of stuff that it threw out at you, and it was just figure it out. But I can tell you for sure that I definitely need to watch this movie again, because there's certain scenes that feel like these nothing really plotting scenes that just feel like fluff. But considering the end of the movie, they're actually really important because it sets up a lot of things. There's a scene with Brad Pitt and he's just hanging out with his dog in his trailer, and it seems very mundane and why the hell am I watching this? But the scene is important because there's knowledge that you gain from that scene that will pay off later in the movie. But also, having said that, I have to say that this movie, the ending of it, pays off in such a big way. Albeit, to be fair, you kind of have to have a slightly sick sense of humor to understand the ending of the movie, but I kind of do, and I thought it was it kind of left me speechless. I was laughing and also mortified and holy shit, what am I watching? But for the context of the rest of the movie, it made sense. It just took a very long time to get there. With the very long run time and all the self-referential stuff, it really makes you think that Tarantino was really trying to suck his own dick. But let's be honest, if there's anybody that knows how to fillet themselves properly, it's probably Quentin Tarantino. But at the same time, he is a brilliant filmmaker. So even if the movie does feel like this really long setup to a joke, the punchline punches very hard. So it's definitely not Quentin Tarantino's best movie. It's probably on the lower half as far as my scale of favorites, but it was still a very solid movie. There's a lot of likable qualities, so I think for a score overall out of 10, I think I'm gonna give it a 7.8. I don't know if I would necessarily sit through the entire thing, because there are quite a few skippable moments, but overall, it's a good experience. It's Tarantino. You're gonna have fun. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have you seen the movie? Have you heard of it? Were you excited for it like I was? Hop in the comments. Let me know what's up. Other than that, if you like this review, give me a like, subscribe, share it on social media, hit the bell, do all that other YouTube-y type of shit, and I will catch you guys next time.